We don't dim, we don't shrink, we don't play small. Stand tall, stand proud, let them feel it all. Take up space, step into your power.
Confidence isn't the absence of insecurities. It's what you choose to do in spite of them. Welcome back to part 2 of my conversation with Avnah.
Have you ever felt like fashion creates confidence or exposes insecurity?
Um, I feel like fashion creates confidence if you're aware of yourself. And because that's where you're going to get your self-expression from. By wearing the clothes, you're going to walk in it boldly. You're going to walk in it confidently. Some insecurities, like some people don't like cutouts because, they don't want to expose certain parts of their body, which is fine. We can do a cutout where you're more confident in an area. So whether it's your shoulder, you want your shoulder cut out, we can do that. You get what I'm saying? Like there's so fashion, it can expose insecurities. But I feel like if you're self-confident, and even self-confident in saying, hey, I don't like this right here, this split on this side. Can you do the split in the back? Can you do the split on, in the front instead of on the side? So even in the insecurities, I feel like it's confidence because you know exactly what your body requires to look its best.
Yes.
What looks best on your body. So even in insecurities, there's confidence because you really know what makes you feel good. You get what I'm saying?
I do get what you're saying. I never looked at it like that.
Yeah.
And then, so, goddessly, I'm just trying to bridge the gap. What does a goddess look like in an Avnah design? What would that look like to you?
A goddess is someone that is confident in themselves, that walk boldly in themselves, and don't care what nobody say. They're just, yes, they're confident in who they are. They don't need affirmations from anyone else. They don't need validation from anyone else. They can walk in a room and own the room just by walking in it. They can shift the room. All of that. That's goddess energy. All of that is.
I love it.
Yes.
It really is. But also, the clothing, it just, oh, girl, it takes you from here to here, and just having that person that have experience with knowing a body, but not only that, it's really the idea of, because you see so many hidden misses on red carpets or just,
Yeah.
and you're like, who told you to put that on?
Right.
So do you ever feel like your designs have moments where you're like, I should have put her in something else?
Oh yeah. I have those moments.
And how you handle it? I mean, do you be like, I'm sorry to the person, or you just
No, because I'll have those moments, but I still have the moment like it's gonna work. It's gonna work. If she's in it and it's not a huge issue for the model or the customer, then I'm like, okay, she's feeling it. And then when it hits on the news or the blogs or the social media, or someone grabs it, Getty's or whatever, then it's always a good look. So even if I feel like maybe I should have toned that one down just a tad, it always in the end is a big deal. So I just try not to worry about it. I'm like, I designed it and
you stand by it.
I stand by it.
You better, because it's your stuff and they're gonna come back to you.
Yeah.
But the good news is the work speaks for itself. So it's not gonna be like, why is she going with her? Because they're gonna see the rest of the collection or the pieces. So they won't have to question. Do you have a lot of tall friends, Avnah?
I do. I have a lot of tall friends. And usually when I'm designing for them, I'm always making their sleeves maybe 2.5 inches longer than the regular sleeve, or for the pants patterns, I'm usually extending it, a few inches. It's not really hard to design for tall people. It's just giving them what they need,
Yeah.
giving them what they want. And I always just try to add just something just a little special to each garment, so it just doesn't sit as just a ready to wear piece.
Yeah.
So yeah.
With that. So I asked that because I feel like we can kind of go off of designing in that sense of, this is what you do. We know that. But when you're
Right.
around them, and
Mhm.
because I don't know what height they are, and it really doesn't matter. It's just really
Right.
about when you're around them, how do they feel? Or when they put on something that you wear for them, do you
Mhm.
notice it's a different type of look or not look, but a different type of energy that they provide? Or do you,
Yes.
or
And it's instant.
is
And
it?
it's instant. Yes, when they put on the garment, they it's like they transform.
Hmm.
And once I see that, then that's the joy that I get out of designing, is when I see the customers, the models, they transform once they put the piece on. They
Yeah.
just like come alive. They just turn into a different person. That right there gives me joy. That gives me, you know, the strength to keep going, to keep moving. Because I feel like, even a lot of people think, oh, the designers, they just love to design. They just keep designing and designing collections and collections. But we get tired too. We get burnt out. We have our moments. So those moments when our customers and models, they love what we put them in, and they just transform and light up and start walking and practicing their walk. They know they're really going to kill it now because they have the piece on, and I'm just like, oh yeah, yeah, like that fulfills me. So yeah, it's the whole seeing them come alive once they put the garments on that really brings me joy.
Yeah, because I'm like, that's a fulfillment,
Yeah.
like this is it. This is what
Mm-hmm.
I was created for.
Yes, yes.
If there is a tall woman listening
Mm-hmm.
right now and has spent her life trying to shrink herself, maybe physically or energetically, what would you say to her?
Walk in your boldness, walk in your confidence. Don't shift, don't sway. Just stay in your goddess league, stay in your goddess league.
I'm in here.
Stay there.
That's
Hmm.
what's up. I also think that a lot of women feel that need because they don't necessarily have a lot of women to be around to pour into them. You know what I mean? And I even feel like with designs and who you buy from, because I feel like with you, you're somebody who's personable, friendly.
Yes.
So when somebody comes to you, they're not gonna feel like, oh, this was just a transaction. They leave with energy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's so important. That helps somebody else to want to come and visit you, want to come
Mhm.
and buy from you,
Yes.
because it's like good energy. Good energy is always.
Absolutely. And that's big for me, and it always has been, to be personable with my clients, because that's how I know how to design for you all, is
Mhm.
when I'm personable with you, and I'm connecting with you, and I get to see how it fits on your bodies, and I get to see how it moves. It's just like when you had the skirt on, the burgundy skirt on, and I was like, we need to cut the split some more, and I cut it right there. It's like when I see it on, I it gives me more insight on how I can design even better for taller women.
Yeah.
So I think it's a two-way um, benefit of joy and exchange and energy. So I like to be personable with my clients. I like to be personable with my customers, and even the celebrities, because that's how I'm able to design even better and on a different level for you every time.
And I think that a lot of people need to hear that and just to know that this isn't something to be scared of. Fashion
Yeah.
scared of. Like you said, it's supposed to be freeing, liberating,
Yes.
and a lot of times I meet women who aren't necessarily into fashion, okay? And it's just crazy because, I'm so used to being around people like myself that when I run into somebody that's like, yeah, I've never tried on a pair of pants that actually fit, I've
Right.
never um got a chance to, twirl in a dress, and feel at my best. And it blows my mind because all I want to do is try to fix the problem.
Right.
Let me give you my resources. Let me
Hmm.
share with you what, because do you outsource? By outsource, I mean, if somebody doesn't like something that you do, or you feel like, hey, we're not a good
Oh.
fit, do
Oh
you?
yeah, I refer people to my designer friends all the time. I
Yeah.
pass on projects all the time. If I can't do it and it's too much, I already have a plate full, I'll pass on the projects to other designers.
Okay.
And I don't, I don't feel any kind of way about doing it because it's enough room for everyone, I feel. And I'm like, I can't do it, but she can do it or he can do it. And, you know, I just feel like it's enough room for us all to grow. We can share. We can, it's not that big of a deal.
It's not. And I think that you hit it on the head with that. It's enough room for all of us to grow and
Yes,
evolve and to just be aware of one another's passions, of one another's maybe inexperience, just so you don't, do something that's putting on someone that they don't necessarily have the capability of handling. So,
absolutely.
that's something that people need to be reminded of.
Yes.
And, this is again how it all rolls into what I do. Um, I just feel like, that's a part of becoming. You become because of the journey. You become because of the experience that you have, success or failure.
Hmm.
And with all of your success, we know you've had failures.
Yes, I have.
You like talk to us how you got through those failures.
Mm. Oh, most of the time, um, when I'm going through a a bad spot or um, you know, a bad time, I usually divert it to different things. So I'll start interior decorating.
Mm,
I'll start painting.
mm,
So I have different little outlets. I'll start writing. So I have different outlets when I'm going through a rough spot. Even if I hit a burnout phase in fashion, like I'm just like I just don't have it in me right now to design a new collection. I'll channel the energy I do have into something else until I'm able to, go back to that, and then I'll be able to launch. I'll be more energized and I won't be so burnt out, and I'll have the fuel to go at the designing again. So I have my moments when I put things down. I have moments where I divert to other creative spaces when I'm going through a hard time. So basically, I just keep working. Even through my failures, I keep working, but it might not be doing the same thing that I've been doing. Like it might not be fashion design,
mm. But it's still creative though.
but
It's
I'm still creating. Yeah.
that's so cool because it's still when you said I'm not your energy output or just having the energy, I'm listening to you like, what energy? You just said you did something else to
Right.
get to get
Right.
through it.
And
And
it's so weird
manage.
because to design on the level that I design, I have to be at a certain my cup has to be filled to a certain point. And with life, we have, our children, I have grandkids. I have a lot going on. So sometimes my cup is not full and I may not be able to, and I need a full cup to design. I need a full cup. So if I have just a little bit of energy or fuel, I'll divert it to another source
Mm,
just to
okay.
keep me steady going,
Yeah.
but not on a level of burning it completely out.
Mm. Okay. That makes sense. I like that too. Again, the how we all respond to our failures is always going to
Yes.
vary, but I do think you have to work through it. And I don't want
Yeah.
you just sitting there and, wallowing in self-pity or sitting there and just feeling
Exactly.
bad. You have to
Yeah.
get through it by
Yes.
action.
Yeah.
And that takes courage. That takes
Yeah.
accountability, to
Hmm.
say, put my big girl pants on
Yeah.
to get
Gotta put
through
them
it.
on.
I really just appreciate you being here and just, sharing with us
Yes. Thank
all
you
the
for
things.
having me.
You are so welcome. And, I got to learn a lot about Avna that, I just didn't necessarily know. Again, we only deal with each other through the model designer standpoint.
Right.
And it's so cool to get your perspective of how it is and what you see that happens behind the scenes.
Right.
I appreciate it. So if this conversation spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Share with another woman who needs to be reminded of her power. Okay. And if you're ready to go deeper, make sure you all stay connected because this is more than a podcast, it's a movement. I'm your host, Anna Shea, and I'll see you on the next episode of Chat with 6ft4Goddess. Welcome to the Goddess League. Thank you for watching.